Welcome to your Cohesion Classroom. In this lesson, we will take a look at using a pattern to solve different ways to represent two-digit numbers. At the end of this video, you'll have access to our tips and takeaways, allowing you to focus on the content being presented. You can always access any of our tips and takeaways from the lesson page before or after watching the lesson. In this lesson, students will find patterns that help them solve word problems. Students will find patterns in ways to represent two-digit numbers by finding the different combinations of tens and ones to represent a given number. The number 24 can be represented as 2 tens and 4 ones, 1 10 and 14 ones, or 24 ones. Students will use charts or graphic organizers to work through problems and organize information. Let's take a look at an example of a word problem that students will find a pattern to solve. Students will typically see a word problem like this with the corresponding chart and directions. Find a pattern to solve. Sam is selling his baseball cards. He is selling them in packs of 10 or as single cards. If Sam has 35 baseball cards, what are all the different ways he can sell them? The first step to a word problem is to understand what the question is asking you to find out. In this word problem, the question is asking for all the different ways or combinations Sam could sell his baseball cards. Now let's look for the important information we need. In this problem, the important information is that the cards can either be sold in groups of 10 or as single cards, and that there are 35 cards. Now that we have the information that we need, let's take a look at the chart given. The chart is made up of two columns, packs of 10 cards and single cards. We need to find all the different combinations of tens and ones we could use to build the number 35. Drawing out quick pictures to represent place value will be a very beneficial strategy. The first way we can represent 35 is with 3 tens and 5 ones. This would represent 3 packs of 10 baseball cards and 5 single cards. We can fill in 3 and 5 on the chart. Another way we can represent 35 is with 2 tens and 15 ones. 2 tens represents 20 plus 15 ones. 20 plus 15 equals 35. We can fill in 2 and 15 on the chart. Here we can begin to notice the pattern. The packs of 10 are going down by 1, and the single cards are going up by 10. Let's keep going. The next way we can represent 35 with tens and ones is with 1 10 and 25 ones. And then the last way we can represent 35 is with 0 tens and 35 ones. If students recognize the pattern, they do not need to continue drawing out the numbers with quick pictures. The goal is to have students recognize the pattern and be able to fill in the chart without the drawings. This is how we find patterns in place value to solve word problems. A common error that occurs is when students do not recognize the pattern and continue to draw out quick pictures. When this occurs, students may not find or include all of the possibilities. Once students draw out the original number, encourage them to eliminate 1 10 each time. This will help as well with beginning to recognize the pattern of tens going down and ones increasing. Students will need to be fluent with place value and representing two-digit numbers as tens and ones. For additional practice with this topic, review the lesson, Understand Place Value of a Digit. Understanding the different ways to represent two-digit numbers with tens and ones will help give students a greater understanding of place value for future lessons. If students need extra practice, take out the concept of understanding a word problem and filling in a chart, and just practice the different ways to represent a given number. To gain a full understanding of this concept, visit the lesson page to view the rest of the number concept set of lessons. Uniting students and families in learning, we are Cohesion Education. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.